This is Dr. Von Mad, and we're back. We're about to try to do some more scales. Like I said, this one may take me a while because each one of these has to be carved on by hand, so probably going to be doing this for a while now. Now, what you're seeing here is purely experimental, because I'm not even sure this is going to work or not, but we're going to try it. Alright. So we're going to see what we can do here. I could have put maybe some little spiky nodules coming down the back, but I think this will be alright. As you can see, we are making some progress. I'm hoping that'll show up pretty good when I get the thing. I may end up having to paint these individual scales, so this could prove to be most interesting. So this cat who makes walking sticks, and he does these snakes, and he uses like a Dremel to Dremel these out with. Dremel would be mighty handy right about now. Thing is I'm not sure how well it would react on something as small as this, but so I'll do this about as long as I can here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to hurt my hands again. Oh. You know what would be a good idea right now, since I'm waiting for my hands to quit hurting? To go ahead and go get some paint and kind of go with a light coat over this and see if that works. Tell you what, I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, I brought some black paint. I'm just going to give a very, very light coat on the end of the nose, just a little bit, to see if the scales are going to shine through. Because if they ain't, then I'm going to have to figure out another tactic. Might as well figure it out now before I waste any more time. So what we're going to do is we're going to dab a little bit of this here black paint and see if it pulls it up. It gives a little hint of it maybe. It's really not coming through too good. See what we got going here. Of course, I really can't see much detail anyway. But we're going to see what we got here. Now I'm going to try something. I'll bring this cloth up here. And I'm going to wipe down this. Oh no, that created an interesting effect. Check that out. That created a very interesting effect. You really can't really appreciate it till you're right up on top of it. So, we now at least have our tactic on how we're going to go about the whole thing on this. So, I'll go ahead and put that in here. And get back to putting a few more scales in place. Just gotta figure out what color I'm gonna go over it with. I'm gonna go over it with the black paint, and then I'm gonna wash it off or wipe it down good, and that'll leave kind of the sort of a hint at scales, but not cutting them so deep. It's an interesting idea, and it kind of gave it an interesting look, to be sure. Put some larger scales on the skull and the head up here on top. Kind of like some lizards and snakes are. Now, we'll go ahead and touch up around these lip scales and around this thing. Go ahead and get that done. Let my hand rest, and like I said, I'm kind of in uncharted territory. I'm doing something new method I've never tried before, so you're learning same as me here. Alright, I'll get some of this paint. I'll come up here and I'll drizzle it in around this nose. Get it into the nostril. Now, we're going to take this cloth and come over here and just kind of... Oh yeah, now that popped. I'll have to clean it a little bit more, but that actually really looks good. Now, do the same thing to the rest of the area where the scales are. It's barely etched in. Now, go ahead and grab our cloth, bring it up here, and wipe him down. Make it a clean bit of this material, this old shirt here, to do this job with. It actually kind of came across with an interesting look. And I go over it again. Get it up around this nose here. And lay that down a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the nose, the rest of this nose, and try to get these I know it looks a little patchy right now, but it won't in the end. That definitely got the point across. Let's do this on the big scoots up on the skull now, on top of the head, on the dome, on the cranium. Right in here. Oh, Carnotaurus. Very interesting creature that is. Alright, I'll go ahead and get plenty in there. Now let's polish his nose down. Let's see. Actually, that's quite sharp looking. Really, that is. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see the details now. He's definitely got a pebbly lizard-like skin. It looks really sharp. So, we know exactly how we're going to do it. Now let's see if we can get the rest of this thing done. Like I said, I'm going to have to do it in burst because of the way that my hands hurt when I start doing this. But do this again. Created an interesting effect, that did. And you saw it here. A whole new tack and whole new painting method and sculpting method together here. This is groundbreaking even for me, because I was not aware it was going to do that. I just kind of came up with it on the fly. See, most of the time when I do this, I'm having to paint these as they're, you know, sculpting these things as they go. It's interesting to see something being painted as and doing like a black wash type thing on it as you're doing it. So we're going to come up here along here and do this, kind of dab that in. I want these into those crevices really good. Now, grab our rag and let's black wash this thing down now. Kind of creating a really interesting look. It is. Let's go ahead and do this right up here. Get some more of these head scales. Go ahead and get this, since I'm in the neighborhood. We'll go ahead and give this a clean off now. Oh yeah, look at this. Kind of an interesting look. I don't know if you can see the scales particularly good, but now go ahead and I'm going to paint in around the eye on this side. Now I'll be wiping it off too, but I can get away with a little bit more paint here because I'm going into heavier and the deeper cuts into this clay than the little scratches I'm using for the scales for the skin texture. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this lower draw. Let's go ahead and get this thing cleaned off here. Carnotaurus, as we know, like I said, has this distinctive look to him. Now, Let's see here. Let's go back up here. Just trying to, here instead of just sculpting the scales in, I'm trying to etch them in. That makes it a little bit trickier. So I'll go ahead and see if I can put a little bit more stain on this and see what happens. Where's my brush? There it is. Clean this brush off because it's in the water. And where this paint will kind of give the bit of the back of his head a bit of a dome here. Back of his dome, a little bit of a rinse now. Now, let's go ahead and clean it. We get a cleaner section here. Now, do the same thing over here. And buff it out. And it's starting to look very much like it should. Now, each one of these scales will probably have to be hand painted in, but, and the teeth as well, because otherwise you're going to lose all that beautiful detail. But it is, of course, what it is. I'll go ahead and nail the bottom jaw here with the teeth and everything. Then I will get up underneath there into the mouth, because I need that mouth to look like a mouth. Now, let's go ahead and clean this up. Now, he's got a little bare spot on his lip right here, so let's touch that up and clean that off. So it's coming along. Now, I'm probably going to stop here in a minute because my hands are hurting, and like I said, I can only do a little of this at a time. But you can start to see where it's shaping up. Get a few more scales here on this side of his head. See, I'm just going to come across here. I know I'm not talking much. I'm just kind of concentrating a little. Now, and there's the clock telling me that it's about 9 o'clock, I suspect. And a bit of a gouge right there. I don't know what happened. So we're going to go ahead and I got some paint down here, but it's going to have to come off. So now, go ahead and do a wash on those scales too, and let's see how this looks. It's starting to shape up. Get the brush, clean the water off of it. Could probably water down the paint, but I'm not real sure I want to go doing that. That's not something I want to try. Alright, gonna get a little of this paint. Now we're gonna come over here, and I'm just gonna nail it right in here. Get those distinctive eye spike thingies. Now, let's go ahead and clean that and brush off the, I don't know, still got a little bit of, let's see, you can actually still see a little bit of white right there, so we got to fix that. There we go. Now, grab the rag and let's clean him off. I'll have to probably, like I said, paint these scales individually, but you can see where he's kind of shaping up now. Now, go ahead and do this part here and get his bottom jaw since I'm in the neighborhood and it's not requiring. Alright, ran out of camera space for a second. Alrighty. Go ahead and paint up the bottom jaw. Let's polish this down. Then I can just keep working my way back. There we go. It's starting to look rather well. Might touch his nose up just a hair on this very tip. That's just a little brighter than it ought to be. So I'm going to go ahead and touch it up. And get the brush and come over here and clean it off. Now that fits in a little better. Now, we'll go ahead and let my hand rest a bit and we will get back to this tomorrow. So this is Dr. Von Mad. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified. Don't forget to follow us on Pinterest, Patreon, and Facebook. And I'll see you guys, one and all, on the flip side. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, and God bless.